So you want to start collecting Disney Cars diecast. Let's talk about 2010. Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video and to yet another episode of Collector's Guide, where we teach Disney Cars collectors new and old about Disney Cars diecast. So, let's get started with today's episode on the Cars Toons series from 2010. The Cars Toons, Mater's Tall Tales short series began in 2009 and the diecasts were released in 2010. I actually have some pretty fond memories of buying these, mainly wondering why I couldn't find Heavy Metal Mater. And we'll get to that in just a minute, because the releases of this series were kind of insane. Multiple notable characters were missing. The releases were all over the place. Mater, just normal Mater with barely anything additional on him aside from a little helmet, was sold as a deluxe. There are so many deluxes, so many multi-packs. It's really a crazy time for this series. Now, next time on Diecast History, we'll be covering the normal releases of 2010, but I decided may as well start out with Cars Toons. So, diecasts were released for Rescue Squad Mater, Mater the Greater, Monster Truck Mater, El Matador, Tokyo Mater, Heavy Metal Mater, and Unidentified Flying Mater. Releases also came out for Moon Mater and Air Mater, but those were released in 2012, so we'll be covering those in the 2011-2012 episode. The series clearly favored Tokyo Mater, with most of the releases coming from that short, and barely any from the others. El Matador only saw about 3 releases. So, let's go on to what's new. The packaging was pretty interesting. We'll get to that when we discuss the packaging. But the diecasts themselves were really pretty unique as well. Multiple different maters, new molds, and countless other things, with a variety of different cars from all the different shorts. A huge focus of the series were the deluxes, but it started something a bit odd. Mater was being released as a deluxe. Over here on the right, you could see a regular Mater diecast, and on your left, you can see a Mater the Greater. This was actually a plastic Mater the Greater. I was never able to pick up the diecast version. Now, looking at these two, you'd assume they would sell for the same price, right? They'd fit in the same packaging. They'd both be a $4 single. This was sold as a deluxe for some reason. That was later corrected in the 2010s with a release of him just as a normal single. But for some weird reason, Mattel thought that they could pass this off as a deluxe. Sort of. In fact, I'm not telling you guys the whole truth. Mater the Greater here was never sold as a deluxe. He was exclusive to a single 4-pack. In the original 2010 Cars Toon line, Mater the Greater was exclusive to a 4-pack, and so was Heavy Metal Mater. 4-packs became a fairly common thing in this line, with multiple exclusive cars being released in them. In fact, each one had some exclusive cars in it, including Heavy Metal Mater and normal Mater the Greater. When I was a little kid, I was always wondering, why can't I find Heavy Metal Mater? Because he was only out in a 4-pack. It's really a terrible business decision, making your exclusive car one of the most desirable ones. Or, it's actually an incredibly good business decision, because then you have people buying the 4-packs. I'll let you guys decide that one. Regardless, though, this Mater the Greater, with some matte paint and smoke effects on it, known as Cannonball Mater, was released as a deluxe. So, same thing as what I said before. Mater the Greater was a deluxe. This McQueen was a deluxe. El Matador, deluxe. Not even released in America, but he was a deluxe. A lot of these cars were rare or not released in America or ridiculously priced, making the playsets actually one of the best places to get the cars. That's how I have my Mater the Greater, El Matador, and Dragon McQueen. See? plastic. You can see the stickers on that. Monster trucks were released for the first time in the Cars diecast line, of course being pretty huge. Of course, the Tormentor was one of the rarest ones. Of course, that's how it had to be. But you could still pick up a Rastakarian Tormentor and pay the same exact price for him that you would for this. Or, actually, for Cannonball Mater. Let's fix that. There we go. Now I know what you might be thinking. Ty, why does it matter that these were so rare at the time of release? You already mentioned that they fixed Mater the Greater's release a few years later. And they did. In 2013, the Toon cars became Walmart exclusives, where they stayed there up until 2016-2017. Multiple cars from Tokyo Mater were released. The cars from Monster Truck Mater were re-released, including the Tormentor. And a normal Tokyo Mater was finally released. Before this, you could only pick up the incredibly rare Tokyo Mater with oil stains, who goes for a whole lot of money online now. You could also get an almost as rare, somehow this is like less expensive despite being convention exclusive, Comic-Con exclusive Tokyo Mater with flames. But finally, the Walmart exclusive line released a normal Tokyo Mater and re-released Heavy Metal Mater. But still, these cars are incredibly expensive. A whole lot of the Cars Toons diecasts are really, really rare to this day. So, I think I've said enough about that. Let's move on to talking about the packaging. The packaging for this series was really cool. I actually have some with me right now, just off camera. The Cars Toon packaging was pretty unique, and it was actually different depending on what short the car you were buying was from. As you can see, this is the packaging from a Tokyo Mater car. Since Tokyo Mater is up here, Mater the Greater would be there if it was a Mater the Greater car, etc., etc. Each different short had its own little tagline. Custom paint job was the one for Tokyo Mater. And Mater was positioned here with his tow hook acting as the actual hook for the packaging. It's got a pretty weird shape. On the back, you can see Mater's shack, where all the cars are displayed, as well as a little blurb for the short. The picture of the car that you were buying was in the corner here next to their name tag, except it was inaccurate countless times. As you can see, there's no sign of Yojimbo on this picture down here, despite being the car that you were buying. Now let's move on to notable releases. Of course, countless different Maters were released for this series, and the same thing goes for McQueen's. I'd like to also shout out the Monster Trucks and Chewy the Bulldozer. The Rescue Squad Ambulance was a pretty cool one. A whole lot of planes were also released for this series, and a ton of helicopters. You can't talk about this line without mentioning Mator the UFO. And the background cars of Tokyo Mater are some of the most unique diecasts released to this day. And those are just a few of the coolest, most important releases from the Cars Toon line. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Tune in next time. I'm pretty sure the next episode is actually going to be one on haulers, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.